Hey guys, it's Sithlore. Just wanted to go over the Fetish Army skill, which is the very last skill available for the Witch Doctor. Now, this provides a bunch, and when I mean a bunch, it's usually about 5 fetishes that come and attack by your side for 20% weapon damage, and they last for 20 seconds. This is a good skill, I just don't think it warrants the 120-second cooldown. So, just like I did for the last video, Big Bad Voodoo, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video after each kind of show, so that you're not spending a whole bunch of time waiting for this cooldown. So, now that we've got an elite pack here, as soon as this Waller ends, I will cast the skill. And so as you can see, possibly you've got a bunch of little fetishes running around, doing a fair amount of damage actually. And so you can't just let them sit there, but well, like I said, it does provide quite a bit of damage, and this is the ultimate pet skill if that's what you're looking for. Again, it's not my playstyle, and the reason I say that is because I like my pets surviving and lasting the entire time, but it provides a significant amount of damage for a relatively short period of time in order to help with the battle. So that is the Fetish Army skill, and in a sec we will take a look at the runes. Alright, the first rune choice is Fetish Ambush, which is does an absolute insane amount of damage when the skill is initially cast. So if you wait until casting this with an elite pack, you're essentially going to take the elite pack in one hit, because as I indicated, there's usually 5 fetishes that are summoned. Each one does 250% weapon damage. So immediately upon summoning these things, you're going to do 1250% weapon damage. So like I said, an absolutely insane amount. So let's cast this thing right here, and everything within range was destroyed in one shot. So like I said, really powerful skill, and now we're getting the effects just like we had with the regular rune, with the regular base skill of them doing damage to these guys as well. So once I kill these guys, then we will stop the video and check out the next rune. Alright guys, I'm going to pause it right here now that we've got a bit of... Alright, so the next rune choice I'm not going to show you. It's Devoted Following, so it just reduces the cooldown from 120 seconds to 90 seconds. So this is good in the sense that it reduces the cooldown, but doesn't do a whole lot of additional... doesn't do any additional damage or anything else to the skill. Legion of Daggers increases the number of fetishes summoned by 3. So now you've got 8 fetishes running around. So it essentially increases the damage by 60%. And the reason being is because before you had 5 fetishes, now you've got 8. So you've got 60% more fetishes, and therefore you're increasing the damage by quite a bit as well. So extremely strong rune choice. Depends on what you want it for, whether you're wanting it for the continued battle or whether you want the sudden damage at the very beginning. The one thing that I didn't mention, the disadvantage of the first rune choice that we looked at, is in order to get that 250% initial weapon damage, you need to be within melee range, or you need to be very close to battle. So if you play a Witch Doctor like I do, where you normally like to stay ranged, then that's not necessarily the rune choice that you're going to want. The strategy that I would suggest if you're going to do something like that is to use Spirit Walk. And so you can use Spirit Walk, get close into battle, and then be able to kill them that way. So anyways guys, let me just pick up this this item, and I'll identify it for you while we're here, and then we'll check out the next rune choice. Not bad, not great. Alright guys, the next rune choice is Tiki Tortures. So you get 2 additional casters that do a little bit of AoE damage, and the weapon damage that they do is 15%. It's okay, but definitely, in my opinion, not as strong as the last one that we were looking at with the additional 3. So you get 2 this way, but each of these guys are doing 15%, although it's AoE damage because they are breathing in a cone shaped, compared to the regular fetishes that do 20% weapon damage to single enemies. So personally, I prefer the 20% weapon damage and having 3 additional guys rather than the 2 additional guys that do a little bit of AoE damage. But again, it's all based on your playstyle. It's not a bad rune choice, it's just not the rune choice that I prefer. So we will come back in just a sec and check out the very last rune. Alright guys, the very last one is Headhunters. So instead of, this is a lot like Tiki Tortures, instead of the fire breathing shamans, what we're getting 2 hunter fetishes that do range damage, so blow darts dealing 20% of your weapon damage. So let's take a look at this. I've got a pack right here. So now we've got 7 guys that are out there. 2 of them are dealing range damage. The advantage of the range damage is they're always going to be attacking as long as they can see the guys. Again, it's based on your preference. I prefer the 3, the Legion of Fetish Legion, or whatever the name of it was again, and but these are, the blow darts are relatively strong as well. So just to summarize, depending on your playstyle, the most damage that will be done is the sudden impact, which is the 250% weapon damage, or the sudden ambush, which is 250% weapon damage as soon as you're casting it. The disadvantage is you've got to be in melee range. My recommendation, if you want to stay out of melee range, is to go with the Legion of Daggers, and as it will provide 8 fetishes to fight by your side. The last couple of rune choices are about the same in my opinion. You've still got 7 guys fighting for you, which is great, but I don't find it as much damage as the 8 that you had. So anyways guys, thanks for watching. That was the last of the Witch Doctor skill videos. Hopefully you've had a chance to check them all out. If you haven't, just go to my page, and they're all there for your viewing pleasure. Any questions or comments, please leave them below. Thanks guys, have a good night.